Welcome to the Broklahomies Podcast. I'm Danny, and today I have Nick, our third member of the Broklahomies family.
Insert the clapping here.
No,
Yes,
that's right.
my name is Nicholas Gathman. I've been on the podcast a few times prior to today. We're celebrating the announcement of my joining of the team.
That's right, dude. It's amazing. It's so exciting to have you join us, like, permanently.
Exactly. I'm an official member of the Broklahomies Podcast, and I'm going to be helping out with audio editing.
Yes, very much needed audio editing because I was going to say we, but it's more like myself.
Tyler makes you do all the work.
No. What I was going to say is myself does not have a good microphone, and that keeps being noticed time and again. So maybe you can help us curb this small thing, because like any help is valuable. I don't know what I'm doing here. Like whenever it comes to audio editing.
I mean, it's that's the thing about audio editing is that like the more you do it, the more little nuances tend to reveal themselves that no one will have told you prior. And so I can understand, because whenever I first started audio editing, I had no idea what I was doing. I thought all you had to do was record into a microphone and, put it into the workplace.
Yeah.
I had no knowledge of how to like equalize I knew how to cut together audio, but the point is that I was very fetus in my in my audio production journey back when I first started in like 2011, 2012.
2011. Yeah, dude. So back then, 2011, that's a long time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I assume right now you're like quite the pro at engineering.
Well, I like to think of myself as professional as I can be.
That wasn't the beginning of Blood Orange Renegades as it is today, right?
No, not at all, because Blood Orange Renegades came to fruition from an idea back in 2017. That was a specific type of musical project that I have wanted to try for a little while, and I finally put it on paper in 2017. But I had been writing my own songs and recording them and mixing them way back in 2011, like when I was still in high school, because when I had gotten to that point of learning guitar and learning how to play my favorite songs, I was thinking, hey, this doesn't seem that difficult. Little did I know.
Yeah.
Surprise, it is incredibly hard to write a good song. Ignorance was bliss in that regard, in that I just started, and like I had mentioned a few minutes ago, I had no knowledge of equalizing or how to put down special effects like reverb or anything like that. And fast forward, what was it, 8 years, and now I'm here.
Yeah, and you already got an EP, correct? Is that correct?
Exactly, yeah. However, the EP that's out currently, not the cover EP, but the one prior to it, Keep the Change, that was actually produced by a good friend of ours, Austin Slade.
Yeah.
He was on here a few episodes prior. I miss him.
We all miss him, dude. Like, so much fun. Such a talented guy too, like musically driven.
Musically and just entrepreneurial. I hope I'm saying that right. Entrepreneurially, like I've just to go off on a tangent on our good friend Austin for a little bit.
Yeah.
He's one of the most driven and entrepreneurial mindset kind of guys I know. And I'm really proud of how he's been able to start his studio business. It's insane to me.
Yeah, bro. I had no idea that he had made that studio out of a storage unit until I heard the podcast episode. So I was astonished. It's like,
I know.
it's brilliant.
It's
brilliant.
Oh man, it's so cool. Like, I'm so proud of him for that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, big man Austin, man.
Big man Austin.
Big man Austin. We gotta get together again, man, and just, you started something 8 years ago, and you've worked hard to develop that skill, and now the band is a reality. The albums are a reality, and the songs, and that inspires me, because I like music like a lot. Like, I like singing a lot, even though I cannot read a music sheet or
Oh, that's okay. Neither can I. I mean, I can read sheet music kind of, but not really. After studying it a few times, I can pick it up, but I can't just put I used to be able to put trumpet sheet music in front of me and be able to sight read it pretty easily, but not anymore.
Trumpet?
Yeah. For those who don't know, I'm a trumpeter as well as a multi-instrumentalist. I've been playing trumpet since 5th grade.
Good Lord. I had no idea. Okay.
This is surprise.
Crazy. Like, this is being a very eventful show. Because I know you for like your guitar skills, and I knew you could play other instruments, but always like within the style that I normally listen you to, like the Blood Orange Renegade style. The trumpet is like a huge curveball for me, man.
I seem to throw a lot of curveballs to people, like musically, in that on one hand, they are people our age that know me for my guitar playing and my songwriting, maybe. But whenever they find out that I play the trumpet, they're like, wait, what? That's insane. And it happens to be the longest instrument that I've played in my life.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of fond memories with it. And then on the opposite side, I surprise older people as well, because they're like, people still play the trumpet.
But I say this as a good thing. Obviously, like, that's really cool. When I was younger, I wanted to learn how to play the saxophone,
Mm-hmm.
But man, that thing is intimidating.
It kind of is.
All the
a few months ago, I had never picked up a saxophone, let alone tried to actually play it. But my mother-in-law had a saxophone lying around the house, and she was like, "You can pick it up and try to play it if you want." And I'm like, "Okay." But even though I was finding tutorials on YouTube, like, man, you're right. Intimidating is a good word for the saxophone. They're like, I have to use all my fingers now.
Yeah. Just putting the mouthpiece is intimidating, let alone putting the fingers on the all the keys and stuff.
Exactly. Like, it's such a different way of playing. I'm used to a brass mouthpiece where I have to buzz my lips.
Yeah.
But
excellent.
With the saxophone, it's
Example.
thank you. But with the saxophone, it's a lot different. Like, it's just the air in your teeth.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, back at OC, I used to go in the piano rooms,
Mm-hmm. I like to go in the piano rooms. They're nice and quiet.
Yeah, it was great. Even though we weren't really supposed to be there. But
they're supposed to be practice rooms.
Yeah, but anyway, we were practicing.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I used to go jam with a guy called Sumner. He was in the jazz ensemble, and he played the saxophone, like the big one. Is it baritone?
Wow. Yeah, it's a berry sax.
Yeah.
Like strawberry sax.
Ooh. So, but yeah, man, you could tell that it's not like playing a piano or a guitar, because like he was just going up and down, pressing keys. He went a lot by intuition as well, kind of thing, you know. Because I told him like it's C and then F and then G, and he was looking for the keys. And if there was a minor, he would have to kind of figure out first. I couldn't just tell him, okay, these are the keys. You just gotta play, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It would actually be helpful for him to like have the old school sheet music, you know.
That was what he was used to. He would prefer having sheet music than just memorizing it.
I think so. Yeah, we were always trying to like pull up songs that were in that format for him to be, well, for guidance, because I think it's clearer, like the times of the notes, like how long he has to play that note for, like transitions, is it staccato, legato, all those things.
Yeah, that is one thing that sheet music is really, really good for, is actually showing you how the music should sound. A lot of people who write or perform contemporary music, they don't, maybe in the really high professional type of performances, they use sheet music, but it maybe just depends on the person.
Yeah, but like you're saying, like in terms of they going about producing a song, an instrumental.
Yeah, I think it would, for that, at least in my experience, it just depends on the way the person has practiced in the past and the type of music that they are performing.
Gotcha.
I think it's interesting how, like, our generation and all the kids that were wanting to play guitar around our age, they didn't have to rely on like going to a music store, buying something with sheet music. They could just go online on the internet and find something that they maybe could understand a little bit better than the generation prior, if that makes sense.
Yeah, something more, I don't want to say simplified, but
well, I don't know if it simplified would be the right word. If you were to say simplified in regards to showing you where to put your fingers on the fretboard rather than learning the notes, then yeah, I guess it was simplified there. But I don't know. I'd argue that maybe they're both just different ways of learning.
Different approaches to the same goal.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like you said, it's great that we have this choice of like we can go either way. You want to use tabs in the fretboard, you know, we can do that. We can.
That's what's so cool about the time that we're living in right now. Like how cool it is that we have the unlimited pool of knowledge that we've garnered over the years, like at our fingertips. Whereas like even like 30 years ago, something like that was like unimaginable. People still had.
Yeah.
I mean, people still can go to libraries, but I haven't been to a library in a long time. Not a public one, anyway.
Yeah.
I had to go to the library in college.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, man. It's crazy the level of accessibility that we have today. You could just get on computer and like read pretty much every book that there is out there. You can stream videos and songs and all this stuff. And yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that's another. I don't know. I'm just in an appreciative mood, and I guess. But what you said about unlimited music, I think I'm glad that we live like in the time that we live in right now, because I'm able to access music all the way back from the dawn of time with just a few dollars a month. It's insane.
Yeah, like basically if you have an internet connection, you can listen to pretty much anything you want. Like all the way from like Bach and Mozart and Palestrina and all those guys to whatever's new. Which this thing about being so so accessible, and these days being able to just upload something and it's immediately available to anyone in the world, whether they live across from your house or on the other side of the planet. It's so crazy. And I think for a musician like you,
like me,
yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, you use a distribution company for your.
Yes, I'm actually I'm signed up with DistroKid. Now I'm not affiliated with DistroKid at all in the fact that they pay me or anything. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, you pay them.
Exactly, I'm paying them, and because I love their service. But yeah, I go through DistroKid, and they're what distributes my music and puts it on platforms like Spotify, iTunes, and those are the big ones, and then all the others in between if I so choose. And it's really cool because it means that I don't have to carry around a whole bunch of CDs. I could just refer people to the music itself, and they can give it a listen if they like it or not.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think from the artist's standpoint, it's never been easier to produce your music and immediately make it available for anybody who would listen to it, no longer dependent on a physical format and delivery costs and and advertising. I don't know,
Well, yeah, we definitely live in a time where being a DIY musician is much easier because, like you just said, you're able to put up your music, produce it yourself, and distribute it yourself for dollars, and and I don't know. I think that's a pretty cool thing, even though it's come with its shortcomings, with a lot of bad music. There's always been bad music though, so maybe this is more. Maybe what I'm trying to say is that it just has gotten illuminated since this digital age.
Yeah, I think I see. I think I see what you're saying. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of bad music out there. Yeah, and it's it's like the sun shines for everyone, sort of thing. But yeah, I guess. I guess what I was saying is it's become so easy. It's become so easy to just put it out there.
Indeed, it's something to behold.
And immediately be on all these platforms and everything. And I was wondering, because I see it a lot. This being brought about whenever it comes to these distribution softwares and the music industry at large, do you think that these distribution companies will replace record labels?
That's an interesting question. I mean,
Yeah.
For the
'Cause,
most part, I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Didn't mean to cut you off.
no. It's just because a lot of people argue that because the way record labels do business and treat artists, they don't have, especially the bigger ones, they don't have the best reputation for that. So the argument is that these distribution companies that are like DistroKid and TuneCore, CD Baby, 1RPM, that kind of stuff, they are they offer a better deal. They cut out the BS of all of the record labels. So are they like making the record labels and this format of the music industry obsolete? Do you think?
That's an interesting question, and I don't know. I don't know if there's any one particular answer that could go for that. I think for the most part, the music industry in that sense has shifted, towards a more DIY kind of mindset because of how easy it's become. Replacing labels, a few years ago, I would probably immediately say yes. Like, are old record labels dying because that's an outdated system, so to speak? A few years ago, I'd probably say yeah. But nowadays, whether I'm right or wrong, I'd probably say I don't know, because there are still plenty of artists who, once they've reached a certain point in their fame, in their popularity, they then are approached by either an indie label or a major label, depending on how popular they can, or how popular their music can be. And then, excuse me, and then they make that switch for the most part. Like, if you're able to make that switch and you've built up a fan base well enough on your own that you can, like, call your own shots, then I don't see a right or wrong going in either direction. You could either continue going the DIY route, so that way you have complete creative freedom, or if you're approached by a record label, maybe one that you respect, and they're like, "Hey, we want to offer you a two record deal for," yeah, exactly. That's a big commitment. It's a big deal. We want to offer you a 2 record deal with, like, I don't know, 5% equity. I don't know business jargon or economics.
But I mean it, but yeah.
But if you are wanting to take a bigger step, and because you aren't sure how to market yourself in a way that a record label can, then I would say that would be a logical step for that particular artist. But who am I to speak on this? Like, I'm not signed to a major label.
well, then let me put it this way: if Blood Orange Renegades grows to like a huge fan base, which
Please.
it will, which it will at like sooner than later, would you take the deal? Would you?
If I was approached by a record label and was offered a certain,
that 2 record deal, would you take it? Would you?
Possibly. It's very probable that I would, but that's when, like, detail-oriented Nicholas would kick in, and he'd need to he'd need
Yeah,
to make sure to read the fine print of everything.
Yes. Preach. Yeah.
Because
You gotta be very careful.
yes, my elders did not raise a person to not to who signed things willy nilly.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, it's very important.
Hmm.
But yeah, man,
I don't know.
crazy.
It's an interesting. It'd be an interesting position to be in, and if once I am put in that position, I think I'd have more to say on that. That just happens
Yeah,
to be my opinion at the moment.
yeah. I mean, if it happens, you know, yeah, because like you didn't think the same way that you thought like some years ago when you would have said that these distribution companies would definitely make the record labels obsolete. So who knows whenever Boar. Do you guys ever refer yourselves to as Boar?
As
We have
Boar,
to- yeah, like
I've thought about it, but but Chris,
BOR.
yeah, well, she recommends BOR because I don't know that's our
'Cause you
name on
wanna
Facebook.
be,
Exactly, we are the BOR,
yeah,
the Blood Orange Renegade.
and you don't want to get mistaken to as like people be referring to boars as like the animal or anything.
Maybe that could be our mascot.
Yeah, why not? Why not? But yeah,
But yeah, that yeah, we refer to ourselves as like BOR because it's Blood Orange Renegades can be a mouthful, but that was part of the intention. I wanted a long name.
yeah, it's a great name. Yeah,
Thank you. Please,
well,
more praise
it,
to me.
it is difficult for a guy like me to say it, like Blood Orange. Yeah, like, but it's cool, man. Like, I don't know, like it's become very common for me to hear like bands whose name is like a sentence, you
Mhm.
know,
Yeah,
like
that.
Bring Me the Horizon
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff. And
It's
you know,
kind of
it's not like I'm talking crap about them or anything.
no, not at all.
It's just like it fits, you know. It's fitting of
Hmm.
like the style and you know. But yeah, it can get a mouthful like some of these bands. But yeah, um, yeah, dude. Like I feel like I'm living through you almost. You know,
What are you?
like
You're
like
living
it's so
vicariously through my stories.
yeah, like it's really exciting to like you and Austin basically like yeah the whole musical aspect like it's really exciting for you guys to be making those moves.
Well, thank you, Danny. That means a lot. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
That's nice to hear that
No. Yeah, like for real. Like
something I'm doing is impacting others.
yeah, no, because I think your approach is at the heart of it is like this is a labor of love. This is something you know that moves me and like um you know people appreciate and I just want to share it like everybody wins kind of thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I like to do it, people like to listen, so I'm going to share it with the world and you have this passion, right? that coming from a long time, and it's just you've been working hard to show it, to make it a reality, to materialize it.
That's exactly what it is. What was I gonna say? Like you're exactly right in that the stuff that I'm working on right now, the music that we'll be releasing later this year, it is, a big labor of love, because ever since I realized that I wanted to create music and, put it out into the world, because that was what made me happiest. Ever since that first started, it, like, that feeling towards it hasn't changed. And the more that I've learned over the years has only made it, like, the love for it grow exponentially and indefinitely, because there's an itch that I need to scratch, and music is what helps to itch that scratch. To scratch that itch.
Exactly. Yeah, man. I feel you, dude. It's because in my case, like, I'm always saying, "Oh man, yeah, I'm thinking about starting this. I'm thinking." It doesn't move from that, and I keep thinking about it. I'm just thinking about it.
Why can't I start stuff?
Yeah,
it's all right. No, I feel the same way, man. And it doesn't help because sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say, because, like, I don't know, like, I think it comes from, like, taking myself too seriously, like taking the music aspect too seriously, because I can't produce to save my life kind of thing. It's just and you want everything to be perfect, and
believe me, I'm right there. I'm right there with you. Like, that's why it's taking so long to get this stuff out there, is because I'm too much of a perfectionist.
Yeah,
everybody's like that. It's okay.
Yeah, because you have an idea in your mind, like how you want it to, like, come out, and what the kind of message that you want to get across, and you just gotta be very detail oriented.
Exactly. That's exactly right. There is a very specific image of, like, say, if I'm writing a song, there's a very specific image in my head, and I'm sure a lot of creatives will say this, whether it be with music, with film, or with painting. But there's a very specific image, and it's hard to put it out on paper. That's just with every creative type. But once you find it, then it's like it's like bliss. It's like, this is what I've been trying to show you. This is what I've been hearing in my head and wanting you to listen as well.
Yes, yeah. But all the minutiae that goes with recording and producing and mixing and mastering, it's like,
Exactly. It's not enough to just write the stuff. You have to learn how to use all the hardware as well.
Yeah, man, it sucks. I'm just gonna say it right there. It sucks. Like,
it's all good. Why, artists and creative types, they have to be a little masochistic to, even try to get good at this stuff.
Oh yeah, man. Just gotta remember why you do this. Like, this is worth it. This is worth it.
Because it's those little moments of clarity. Whenever you finally produce from your hands the sound that you've been looking for, or the image that you see in your head, it's like those little moments are like why you do it.
Yeah, Yeah.
Whenever I, like lately, I'll use this as an example. Whenever I've recorded a certain thing in one of the songs, and it's like, that's exactly what I've been hearing. That moments like that continue to fan the
Mhm.
flame and to keep the pilot light on.
Yeah, those, yeah.
You know,
You had the idea in your head of how it was gonna be, and it 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 came right like you expected. And yeah, it's like you said, it's bliss. It's, you know, it's just fulfillment. It's just right, you know, like harmony, I guess.
exactly.
But yeah, man, you're inspiring me, man. Like to like pick up a digital audio workstation and just start lining up.
It's, I mean, you don't even have. Well, one, thank you. Thank you for. I'm glad that I'm inspiring you. I'm just like talking about, stuff I love to do, and you're listening.
Oh, dude, yeah, dude, absolutely. Like, I don't think you quite understand like how how proud in a way like I am for you and for Austin and for like just for the people in our group that, you know, that they're pursuing their passion, they're pursuing the stuff that's moving them, you know, like especially something like music, because like I really really like it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just put it like that. But yeah, like um it's really really motivating. It's like I just, you know,
I
until I can put something forth in terms of music and stuff, like I I just have to feed on y'all's achievements and success. So
Well, thank you very, very much, Danny. That I really appreciate those kind words.
yeah,
But
and
like keep.
obviously, sorry, I just want to say, obviously, rooting for you guys. Like, yes, your success is my success. Like, we,
Of course, man. We're all rooting for each other. I think that's something that brought us together, whether we realized it or not, was that all of us are pretty driven people. I noticed that, whether I knew that at the time or not. But all of us kind of, we're a group of. I'm talking about our friend group, over the
yeah,
course of the college career. The friends that we've
yeah.
made, they all we all had and have our own like passions that we're actively working towards, and
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I think that was something that drew us to one another, brought us together, and that's something cool.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, yeah, yeah. I definitely agree. Like, our group is very, very. It's a group that has, you know, each individual has goals, and we all want each other to achieve those goals that, you know, the others have established for themselves. I think that's pretty good, and it's hard to find like in you know, in just your average friends group, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that that fellowship, that, you know. motivation. Uh, it's really inspiring, and then it's cool pursuits too. It's like you're you're not you know you're not settling for less. It's like I want to do this, and I want to see how far I can go with this. So like your bands, like the sky is the limit, I guess. Wouldn't you agree?
That's exactly how I kind of think of it. It's like the way I see it is, of course, I want to artistically push my my band's music or my music in general. I artistically, I want to be able to push that as far as it can possibly go. Whether
Yeah.
it's a consistent fan base of 500 people, or where it allows me to fill out stadiums, however big or small it can be. I just want to pursue it because I want to see what happens.
Yeah. It makes total sense. Yeah, you just want to give it your all. Because, I mean, would you have it otherwise? Like, would you do it for, like, would you allow it to become like a chore? No, you wanna. It's something that you really love and wanna always
Mm-hmm.
push yourself and yeah. Go ahead.
And that's something that kind of goes back to what we were talking about with your question. Do you think it was like about record labels? I think, I think it really depends on the person. Say you take band A and band B. They both make pretty similar music for similar reasons. But band A doesn't like the idea of their fun becoming a chore. And so, but band B doesn't, like they have the personality to work around that, to adapt to that. And maybe some of their reasons for being in the band align with the reason for the the record label to sign the band.
Okay.
If that makes sense, And so,
yeah.
So band B is the artist who should. That's the the artist that should sign to a label, because they're going to be able to handle potentially. I don't know if I should say that. Potentially adulterating the vision that they might have had. Unfortunately,
no. Yeah, and you see it, I think, happening a lot. Like with certain bands,
Mm-hmm.
like it just seems like they sold their soul.
Mm-hmm.
Because like what they and it's always like a fickle kind of subject, because as a fan, you see you witness the change and think, oh man, they just sold themselves. They just they became mainstream and like
and I don't want to make it sound like I'm putting down mainstream artists. I'm not the type of person that goes around like calling people sellouts. I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. It's just a neutral thing like for example, to go and sign to a record label, like because for the most part, whenever you would sign to a record label, depending on its reach, from what it seems, it's that the higher the reach, the more you need, the more they're gonna propose that you need to adhere to their I don't want to say guidelines, but that's just what's popping into my head.
But yeah,
Because with such a reach, they have to maybe have a certain formula
yeah.
for
They
success.
they kind of already have a model that they see works, and they want to play it safe, which is weird because like usually what makes these bands stand out from the rest is that they have their own thing, their own personality and stuff, and the moment you put them in this cage, this format.
Exactly, but that's why it's tricky, because it just depends on a certain situation. I know that there are plenty of record labels that they really care about the artists and they help them out. And there have just been instances where artists can kind of be screwed over, and it's just two sides of the same coin, really.
Yeah, and it's true with like every business, not just the music industry, I suppose. Like, the like you said, you gotta read the fine print. You can't be signing contracts without looking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, man. And now you're part of our group, bruv. You're
exactly.
You're a bona fide Broklahomie.
I'm a bona fide Broklahomie.
Like, yeah, man, it's exciting. Like, I'm gonna tell you, like, I would be super happy if like our entire group was the Broklahomies.
That would be awesome. We could all just work together.
Yeah, it would be amazing.
In short, we miss our friends.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, we miss you guys. Like, but yeah, until that happens, the three of us are gonna have a lot of fun. Me, you, Tyler. It's gonna be a blast.
I think so too.
Yeah, man. Dude, yeah, that's an hour.
Oh, nice,
man. Oh yeah, pretty much. Dude, awesome. I really love this conversation. Like,
I enjoy talking with you too, Danny.
Yeah, man, and I'm sure we'll have plenty more stories to tell and new things to do. Like, I'm just excited about the possibilities.
I'm excited too. That's why, that's why I've been like, I love the idea of this podcast. There's so much potential for interesting conversations, and to get new perspectives, because there's already, that precedent has already been set.
Yeah, that's really what it's all about. It's interesting conversations about things that improve people's lives, and like people. The idea being people will listen to our podcast and live with a better outlook, or like with a better insight than when they first came, before they started listening to. So yeah, like, and then all the stuff that we can do beyond the podcast, it's just mind blowing right now. So I'm getting high with all the possibilities and stuff.
Whoa, Danny. Whoa.
No, yeah, I'm not trying to put like a chip on your shoulder right from the start. Like you just became a full member, and you're already being thrown into the.
Oh man, I'm ready.
You're ready?
I'm ready.
Dude, yeah, really excited. I think we're gonna do just a great many things together, and yeah, I hope it will be as fun and helpful to you in terms like professionally and with gaining experience and portfolio pieces and stuff, as it is for me and for Tyler as well, because Tyler will certainly agree with me. Like this has been very helpful in showing people that, hey, I'm not just like a sheep in, and a robot in the sense that I only do things inside my line of work, and my job.
I do other things.
Yeah. I'm human.
And I do things besides work.
Yeah, the job doesn't define who I am. What I do is not who I am.
Exactly.
Kind of thing. So yeah, man. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me,
amazing.
Man. I've had a blast. I always love coming on here and talking with you guys.
Yeah, man. Likewise. Your episodes that you're in, and it's always so much fun and just a blast. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. I just like talking.
Yeah, dude. I get you. It's great. It's. Please stay that way. But yeah.
As you were saying.
Yeah. People who are listening, please leave a like or share or subscribe or follow or all of the above, because we can really use all of the support that you can muster.
Every pinch of help helps.
Exactly. Well spoken.
Yes. Thank you. I've practiced.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was the Broklahomies Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you
later.